This video is rated 18, suitable only for persons of 18 and over.
I have you.
Hello YouTube, LJ Draco here. Yes, as you can see, I'm back with another video. I've got like technically speaking, I've got 4 more videos to do, but I've technically got like 2.5 shelves left to show. I just thought I'd dedicate this video to my Arrows and Scream Factories, because this is practically at the moment my kind of horror thriller shelf. So I don't have like a lot of titles to for these things, so I thought I'd do these section first and then get the actual horror films and thrillers out of the way. But just to shut a certain bitch up who knows exactly who he is, because he's been bitching every day for the past few weeks about me not showing movies he sent me, which, you know, he wouldn't wait for. I'm going to get out of the way just so he'll shut the fuck up, and if he doesn't, then, you know, yeah. He knows who he is. Right, so, Roller Coaster 101 films. Batman Ninja. Sherlock Gnomes. Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1. Okay, so he also did send me Batman 89 and Batman Returns, but I already had those Blu-rays. I literally just wanted the official sleeves to put them on. So I gave Alice the blues and just kept the original sleeves because she liked those comic book sleeves that I printed. So now it's out of the way, he can now do one. he knows what I mean, because it's just, yeah, every day, like literally the other night for like an hour, it was non-stop. Oh, you show other people's movies. Yeah, now he knows. Right, so Arrows and Scream Factories. So there's not a lot of titles. Like I have very even numbers right now. I have specifically 20 Arrows and 10 Scream Factories. So not a lot. Right, so I've got some box set ones, and then I've got the standard. So, starting with the Arrows, I've got my American Werewolf in London limited edition set. Got my Hills of Ice 2 limited edition set. Got my RoboCop limited edition set. And then I've got my standard Hellraiser trilogy. Love the first Hellraiser, right? Clive Barker is just an overwhelming horror genius. So it's time for the standard ones. So this is another film that was sent to me by my friend Lauren from Lauren's Collection. This is Battle Royale. Great film, didn't expect to like it as much as I did. So as you also might know, some of these films aren't actually horrors. It's just I keep all my Arrows together and I'm keeping all my Scream Factories together. So some are going to be horrors and some are going to be like sci-fi action. But I can't... Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China. Great film. Future Shock. The story of 2000 AD, which is... I didn't ever realise that it's a British comic. So, yeah. Judge Dredd's actually British. It's just set in a US-styled police world. The Guyver. And specifically while talking about this film, I'm wearing my Guyver t-shirt that was also sent to me by my friend Lauren from Lauren's Collection. So yeah, I love the Guyver movies. I also love the Guyver anime show. I will admit, the Guyver anime show, I actually watched for the first time the whole season about 3 months ago. Man, love it. Absolutely love it. Time Bandits, pretty interesting film. Better than I thought that was going to be. Weird Science, love this movie. Hilarious. Burbs, another great movie. Frankenhooker, along the lines of Weird Science. The Hills Have Eyes, the first one. The only reason I got the limited edition set of the second is because at the time there was no standard Amaray release of it, so it actually got on sale and was really cheap, so I grabbed it. The Incredible Melting Man. This movie's better than the trailer makes it out to be. The trailer makes it out to be this really low budget, cheesy 80s horror, but it's actually really interesting. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, cheesy, fun, enjoyable movie. Maniac Cop, oh, Bruce Campbell. So I know I've said great movie a lot, but that's because I mean it. Literally I think I hate this Arrow more than I've ever hated any other, including The Stuff. And I thought I'd be a massive fan of this because it's done by a musical genius who gave us Rocky Horror Picture Show. And it is shock treatment. I am not a fan of this at all. I understand the premise they went with. I understand that they were trying to do it's technically, from what Richard O'Brien says, it's an unofficial sequel to Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's just, this, Brad and Janet Majors was kind of, they're kind of like the characters that were going to be in every story. But the stories were going to keep changing, but so was their character arc. So, in Rocky Horror, Brad was the tough man's man, and Janet was the, help me. In this one, Brad was the kind of shy and clumsy, and she was the powerful kind of, I am a strong, independent. So I understand what they were going with. It's just, the story and the music did not live up to what Rocky Horror gave us. I think this was a lot weaker. So that's my least favourite Arrow film. And then my last Arrow film is The Thing. Great 80s horror film. Love the scene set in snow. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now onto my Scream Factories. Got Candyman, a great movie. Really enjoy it. I think, what's his name? Is it Tony Todd? Yeah, Tony Todd. Great actor. Oh, backwards. Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh. Now, I actually prefer this to this. Now, I still love this movie. This is a great horror film. But this goes a lot more in depth on his story and just much more interesting characters other than just him. So I enjoy that one a lot. Dog Soldiers, great British werewolf movie. They're all enjoyable. The Fog, John Carpenter movie. Yet again, I didn't expect that to be as good as it was. So we enjoy. Robert Englund in Phantom of the Opera. And this Phantom of the Opera is not your typical musical Phantom of the Opera where they just casually sing every 5 minutes. This is a much darker, Jack the Ripper-esque style version of the film. And Robert Englund is perfect in that role. Pumpkinhead, probably in my top 10 favourite horror films of all time. Why? Because the practical effects in this is amazing. And you've got Bishop from Aliens in this. You've got to love it. The first horror movie I ever watched in my life, Return of the Living Dead, still holds up. Of course, mine and Alice's favourite scene is the redhead dancing naked in the graveyard. Why not? Swamp Thing. Even though this is a DC comic based movie, it still comes with the category of horror first, which is strange. But yeah, this is a DC comic character. I love the original Swamp Thing. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I enjoy it. I think it's fun. Valentine, great horror thriller with David Boreanaz. I do know a lot of other people in this. It's just their names. Oh, Katherine Heigl, Denise Richards, Mary Sheldon. Yeah. A lot of people. Yeah, but no, this is actually a really interesting film. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend checking it out because it's one of those films that it's just more interesting than it looks. And then last but not least, but this one was actually given to me by my friend Sasha. They Live, great sci-fi movie. I would, even though it says it's not a horror, I'd say this is because there's some terrifying scenes in this. But a fantastic movie. So yeah, that's just my Arrow and Scream Factory movies that I own at the moment. I said I'm currently having 20 Arrows and 10. My Scream Factory will probably get a lot bigger than my Arrow collection will, just because I do love Arrow. I want to get this out there because there's a specific person listening to me record this video who thinks I've got a vendetta against Arrow, which I don't. I do love Arrow movies. However, I seem to find that a lot of Scream Factories have better transfers. And it's not just that. I love the American Slim cases because you can have more movies on the shelf. I also love the artworks on these compared to most other Arrow films have. So I don't know why, but Scream Factory's just got this nice little spot in my heart. So these will probably grow more than the Arrows. But I am planning to switch out my shock treatment. I don't want to have more than 20 Arrow films. So I'm planning to change or exchange my shock treatment in hopes to one day get Waterworld. That's the only other Arrow that's out at the moment that I actually want to own. I don't really want to own any others. So yeah, so that's just. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was interesting. And I said I've still got 2.5 shelves left to show. Those will be in like a week or so. Yeah, that's the end of this video. Take care, you wonderful, wonderful people, and I shall see you next time.